For the last 2 seasons, the second driver conversation at Red Bull has been one of the most talked about topics in Formula One. The lack of performance from the second car since Daniel Ricciardo's departure had left Red Bull in an awkward place with the young driver program and also the team in general. But here we are a little over a month away from Red Bull debuting a new driver lineup, but this time with their second driver coming from outside of the Red Bull family. Formula One veteran Sergio Perez will join Max Verstappen at Red Bull this season, marking the first non-Red Bull driver since Mark Webber joined the team back in 2007. It's a welcome addition of talent and, more importantly, experience that Red Bull has desperately been needing in order to support Verstappen. On paper, the partnership sure looks promising, but in reality, how well can Verstappen and Perez work together to take Red Bull to the next level? And can Sergio Perez handle the pressure of the Red Bull environment and succeed better than his predecessors did? Well, let's take a deep dive into the numbers and see how these two drivers stack up against each other in our teammate Tail of the Tape at Red Bull. F1 is a funny place sometimes. From being in a position where there were no seats available to having one of the best seats available is quite the roller coaster ride for Perez. After spending 7 years with Force India/Racing Point, transitioning to a brand new team isn't easy, but Perez is quickly finding his feet at his new team.
Obviously, I've been 7 years with a team, so it feels a bit different, It's like a dog finding a new family, You've been with a family for so many years, and you are used to see them, and then all of a sudden you're changing. But I have to say, I'm starting to feel very comfortable here. It's a fantastic team, very united, and I can see that there's a lot of fun ahead of us.
There's certainly a lot of excitement over Perez's seat at Red Bull, and I think we can all agree that no one deserves that seat more than him. But now as we're getting closer to the start of the 2021 season, the task at hand becomes more visible, and the serious work is well underway. Sergio will have the most difficult task of going head-to-head with one of the best in the sport in Max Verstappen. It's been a few seasons since Verstappen has had an older and more experienced teammate, so let's take a closer look at the numbers in our tail of the tape. There is an 8-year age gap between the two, along with a 72 race gap in Perez's favor. It's crazy to think that Verstappen is entering his 7th season of Formula One at only the age of 23 years old. He's got 10 race victories along with 42 podiums. Verstappen's progression as an elite Formula One driver has seen him finish on the podium in 35% of his career races. He's also got 10 fastest laps to his name, along with finishing in the points 79% of the time in his career. On the other side of things, Sergio Perez's resume is no slouch either. A driver who has consistently maximized his machinery, Perez has 10 podiums to his name and that all-important race victory which came last season in Sakir. He's finished in the points in 60% of his races and even has 4 fastest laps under his belt. It wasn't just his win in Sakir that sold Red Bull on the idea of signing him. It's been a career's worth of high-level performances and, most importantly, consistent ones, which is what Red Bull will be looking for. Both drivers have strong head-to-head records against their teammates. Perez is 8-2 all-time versus teammates, while Verstappen is 4-2 against teammates in his career. The qualifying numbers favor the Dutchman more as he is able to outqualify teammates 69% of the time, while Perez is down at 53%. In terms of racing, the two stack up much closer with Perez outracing his teammates 54% of the time, while Verstappen is a little further ahead at 63%. It's a formidable driver lineup on paper, but now let's take a look at each driver individually and what skills they bring to Red Bull for 2021. What is there to say about Max Verstappen that hasn't already been said? Future world champion, generational talent. You start to run out of adjectives to describe Verstappen's skills and potential. He was quick from the onset of his F1 career, but it wasn't that long ago that fans and media alike were criticizing him for his crashes and clashes with other drivers. Since 2018, he's completely refined that area of his driving style and has really matured as a driver to the point where we don't see him taking those needless risks anymore. Another area in which we've seen steady improvement has been Max's one-lap pace. Verstappen now has 3 pole positions to his name and an average start position of 6th. Along with the 3 poles, he's also reached Q3 in 102 out of 119 attempts. But where Verstappen excels is of course in racing conditions. He's a consistent top 5 finisher and has placed 3rd in the championship in the last 2 seasons. Not to mention that Verstappen was only 9 points off his career best championship finish last year, in a season which the Mercedes W11 was very dominant. There really aren't too many questions surrounding Verstappen as we enter the 2021 season. We know exactly the type of performances he is capable of, and he's shown that even on his own, there are weekends in which he can take the fight to Mercedes. The bigger questions in the last few seasons have been whether Red Bull can provide a car worthy of Verstappen's talent. I feel Verstappen and equal machinery would be able to beat the likes of Lewis Hamilton if given the opportunity to do so. Whether they can be a contender in 2021 or not, I'll get to in a couple minutes, but there's one thing I do know. Verstappen will be on the very top of his game and even better for this season. Red Bull has provided Sergio Perez with the opportunity of a lifetime at the age of 31. Although he had a short stint with a team like McLaren, I think it's accurate to argue that McLaren were on the decline at the time and Red Bull have the superior resources, so really this is his first chance with a big team. So ultimately, why did Red Bull choose to go with Perez over their young Red Bull juniors? I think the answer is pretty clear and one that was the right decision to make. Perez is an average top 10 finisher in his career, which he spent most of in midfield cars fighting in a very competitive field. He achieved his best championship result of 4th last season, despite missing 2 races. Qualifying has been one area in which Perez greatly improved in 2020, as well as achieving a best grid start of 3rd and reaching Q3 in all but 2 races. Perez also brings a wealth of technical knowledge to Red Bull in terms of car development. He spent 7 years with one team and had a large input on the developments of that car, which should help Red Bull as a team. They didn't have that the last 2 years with the young drivers just trying to find their feet in new cars, so Perez's technical knowledge will really help a senior team like Red Bull. One of Sergio's greatest assets is also his exceptional tire management. You could argue that he's the best tire manager in this Pirelli era, and that will bode really well for strategies against their rivals. Imagine the difference in 2021 when Red Bull can rely on Perez to do an extra 10 to 20 laps and hold up one of the Mercs. The experience and knowledge of Perez is going to be a breath of fresh air for Red Bull, and apparently Perez has wasted no time in sharing that knowledge with his new team.
And I think, secondly, I can bring a lot of experience, knowledge. I've been in the sport in different teams, in different eras, and I think I know what I need from myself, but I also feel that I can push the team forwards in certain areas, just by talking to the teams, and I think we know the direction. Obviously, I have to wait and drive the car, but there's already some good ideas that we've been sharing with the team that hopefully we can bring some performance on track.
Perez will have the very difficult job of trying to match and ultimately beat Verstappen. As many of you have voted on our YouTube poll, the majority of fans believe that ultimately Verstappen will beat Perez, but it will be a close battle. The key for Perez will be to adapt to the Red Bull car as quick as he can. It's a huge mountain to climb this season with very limited testing, but if anyone can do it, it's definitely going to be a driver like Sergio Perez. It seems like for the last few years, we start every season asking ourselves, is this the year that Red Bull can finally contend? Here we are in 2021 asking ourselves the same question, and we really don't know what's going to happen with the rule changes that have come into effect for this season. In typical Red Bull fashion, they came on strong at the end of last season, but still were only able to win 2 Grand Prix in 2020, which was a step back from 2019. And then you get to the question of how much stock does Red Bull put into this season, considering the major rule changes of 2022. Let's also not forget that Red Bull still have questions surrounding their engine future deal after Honda leaves at the end of this season. Putting those questions aside for a moment, I think we can expect very good results from a Verstappen and Perez lineup at Red Bull. Although Perez won't see himself as a number 2 driver, Red Bull needed somebody like Perez who can match and maybe even in some cases beat Verstappen at any given weekend. I tend to agree with the fan poll that this rivalry will be closer than most people think, but ultimately Verstappen will be the victor. With this lineup, they are well equipped to take the fight to Mercedes, which is a team effort considering how dominant they've been. With all due respect to the talents of Gasly and Albon, it is a massive upgrade for Red Bull and a very welcome one indeed. It's a very exciting new driver lineup and one that I can't wait to see when we go racing in March. So how do you see this driver lineup of Verstappen and Perez playing out in the 2021 season? Can Perez put on a good challenge to Verstappen? And how do you think Red Bull will do this season? As always, leave your comments down below, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and also check out the rest of our teammate Tail of the Tape videos. Thanks for joining us here today on the Backmarkers F1 show. I've been Chris Cato, and until next time, have yourselves a great day.